we've been doing analysis of the Bihar results all day, and Bihar has spoken, and it has spoken loud, it has spoken clearly, it has spoken without any footnotes. It couldn't have been a clearer election results than this. Sometimes the numbers tell the story, ladies and gentlemen, and sometimes the numbers scream. Tonight in Bihar, they are screaming one thing: an NDA super sweep, an absolute NDA super sweep. The NDA is eyeing 202 seats. Ladies and gentlemen, in Bihar, that's a gigantic swing. And the Congress has been cornered with a consolation prize of 1 seat. 1 seat, ladies and gentlemen. The grand old party, the Congress party, and its loser leader, a political loser, not a political non-entity, a dynast who's just a loser, comes back tonight and says, here I am, Congress party, I'm heading to my own century. Rahul Gandhi is 95, lost and counting. I don't mince my words, the man is a political loser. And on the other side, ladies and gentlemen, a man on whom the return on investment proves to have been a colossal negative number. A man built on the Lutyens' media hype, a strategist for others, but when it came to himself, what he delivered is, ladies and gentlemen, a golden duck. A man built up with such affection and love by the Lutyens' media, but unable to get beyond 3%. He can raise hundreds of crores of rupees, but he cannot win a single seat, a single assembly seat. There are no consolation prizes, ladies and gentlemen, for Prashant Kishor tonight. The sheer scale of the NDA's victory is what we must speak about this evening, ladies and gentlemen. The NDA is leading in 202 seats. The MGP is only in 35. These are the numbers, ladies and gentlemen. 202 seats for the NDA, 35 for the or should I rather say, not so Mahagathbandhan. This means, ladies and gentlemen, that the NDA commands 85% of the seats in one of the most important, politically important states of the country. In mathematical terms, that would be 8x. The NDA is 8x, 8 times the MGP. The Bihar election results bring another categorical issue to the fore. One categorical issue, we cannot avoid this anymore, but this is 6x the margin, I correct myself. The Bihar election also bring other facts to the fore. Look at the gap between the NDA 2020 and the NDA 2025. An alliance adds 79 seats. An alliance goes up, ladies and gentlemen, by a vote share of 46.9%, 9% increase in vote share in percentage terms, 23.7% increase on its base. This is absolutely incredible. There are 51 seats in Bihar across 7 districts where the Muslim population is more than 20% of the vote. Ladies and gentlemen, this means that the Muslim population in those areas is concentrated and effective. And now I want to tell you the truth. I've always said, with the greatest of respect to everyone in the minority community, exult not too much at a concentration of the Muslim vote. Believe not that a concentrated minority vote can always upset the apple cart, because what if reverse consolidation happens? And I'm told by people who believe in this dodgy science of Muslim appeasement that it's never going to happen, Arnab. It's never going to happen. To them I say tonight, it has happened. It has happened. In areas where Muslims are strong, Kishanganj, Katihar, Araria, Purnia, Darbhanga, Paschim Champaran, Sitamarhi, at least in 4 out of these 5 areas I've had the pleasure of reporting in the past, the NDA is leading On 39 seats, that's a strike rate of 74%. This is not possible. It is absolutely not possible unless the Hindu vote has come together, unless the caste samikaran is over. So I want to tell my friends in the Lutyens media who have the revolting habit, who have the disgusting habit of celebrating caste politics. Forget it. The times have changed. The country has changed. Bihar has rejected caste. Ladies and gentlemen, look at the numbers. The Prime Minister said today, MY is not Muslim Yadav. What did the Prime Minister say? The Prime Minister said that MY is Mahila and Youth, and the Prime Minister is completely right on this. He's completely right. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to share something with you. There are 51 seats in Bihar, ladies and gentlemen, where the Muslim population exceeds 20%. But now look at the voter turnout of women. Many more numbers of women have voted than men. In phase 1, 7.5% more percentage terms women voted than men. But in phase 2, it was 10.15%. There are 108 seats in Bihar where in terms of voter turnout, ladies and gentlemen, in sheer terms, only terms of voter turnout, women have outdone men. And among those 108 seats, this is the number you need to remember. The BJP has won 88 out of 108. The overwhelming support, ladies and gentlemen. 82% of the women have voted effectively for the NDA. Mamta Didi, do not forget, your election is coming too. Mamta Didi, do not forget that you failed the women of Bengal. Mamta Didi, do not think the people will not remember that in Sandesh Khali you supported the rapists. In RG Kaur you supported the rapists. The women of Bengal will punish you for this, Mamta Didi. You have lost their faith. But more than anything else, Mamta Didi, look at the affection of the women of Bihar for the Prime Minister. The fourth point tonight, and I want to focus on this in a little bit of detail, is what I call the Chirag Paswan factor, ladies and gentlemen. Young leader, but then a young leader with youthful charm has to be used effectively. Chirag Paswan's LJP is the secret trick in the book of the NDA, for it tells us 2 or 3 different stories tonight, viewers. First, it tells you that if you have an asset, you need to use the asset. Secondly, if you are using the asset, you need to invest in the asset. Thirdly, you need to give an opportunity to the asset. And ladies and gentlemen, what an opportunity the NDA has given Chirag Paswan. And what an opportunity Chirag Paswan has given the NDA. He is made to contest 29 seats. Lutyens media is in a tizzy. They say the BJP has gone mad. It's being over generous. But tonight they are quiet because the young man has delivered with 19 of the 29. That's a strike rate of 66%, ladies and gentlemen. And that is a game changer. Chirag has performed much better than Tejashwi. Chirag is a sober, decent, structured thinking kind of guy. He's not got the swagger or the political braggadocio of Tejashwi. But Tejashwi has a terrible strike record. Chirag has been in Bollywood, I am told, but Bollywood didn't understand his value. Politics has. Tejashwi has a strike rate of 17%, viewers. Let's look at this comparison, and I want to go back to the wall, viewers. For we have to understand the story of these 2 young men. I don't know their exact ages. I presume they're just a few years apart. They're both somewhere in their mid to late 30s at the most, I think. But if they were batsmen, I would love to have Chirag in my team. I would hate to have Tejashwi in my team because Tejashwi anyway wasn't a very good cricketer. He got a lot of opportunities. Tejashwi wins 25 seats out of 143. He has a strike rate of 17.48%. Chirag fights in only 29 seats, ladies and gentlemen, but he wins 19. He's got a strike rate of 66%. Who would you bet on? I think the story is we'd bet on young Chirag over young Tejashwi. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, the unfortunate reality, the postscript, the person who promised so much but delivered absolutely nothing. Prashant, if you're watching this tonight, I want to tell you this. Politics is not a business, Prashant. Which camera? Politics is not a business, Prashant. You made it into a business. You felt that you could get away with it. You felt you were so smart you could teach everyone politics. Today, politics has taught you a severe lesson, Prashant. First, no braggadocio, no greed, no over-aggression, no outstanding ego, no oversized ego will help you. No Lutyens media, no carefully scripted digital campaigns, no arsh, no farsh, no big talk, Prashant. Come down to earth, Prashant Kishor. You contested 238 out of 243 and you got a gigantic duck. You got a gigantic duck. So Prashant, stop doing those silly, ridiculous interviews where you're asked stupid questions by your favorite Lutyens media journalists. The problem with you, Prashant, you got comfortable with Lutyens and Lutyens got comfortable with you. And that's a serpentine situation where we're being twisted by a python that's going to destroy you. The python could be the media, the python could be your ego. The reality is you got a mega entry. You put in a lot of money, a lot of money, a lot of money. What did the money ever get you? The money got you a unilateral result of 0 seats and 3% votes. Ladies and gentlemen, Prashant Kishor, the second biggest loser of this election. I'm not going to give up my bet on Prashant because he's a hard-working guy and he's relatively young. But he needs to come down on earth. This is not the entry that he wanted. I'd love to talk to him. Tonight, at the very end, we don't need metaphors to tell you what happened in Bihar. You know the reality, I know the reality. The mathematics is savage enough. It's a super sweep. It's the return of the nationalist narrative. It's Hindu mobilization. It is the end of caste politics. It is the emergence, ladies and gentlemen, of a new India, of a new India. The rise of the BJP in Bihar is the last graph I would like to leave you with. Say whatever about this gentleman on the screen. Say whatever about the party who he leads. The saffron wave 2020, 2025, the numbers are changing. People who do not like the BJP felt the saffron sweep would be over. Look at India today. It is saffronized, whether you like it or not. And saffron is a beautiful, a spiritual, and a very important color, ladies and gentlemen, for the large majority of people in this country. Finally, Narendra Modi's track record, the BJP's performance. Can I go back to that graph? Life is ups and downs, but the BJP has climbed back. And that is a magical situation for the BJP to be in. Will it have a national consequence? We'll talk about that.